Welcome to part 5, and this will be the final time that we actually do any sculpting with the oil-based clay. After this, after we're finished today with this part, we'll move on in the next video and make a mold, a plaster or a cement mold out of our chimpanzee face. And today, everything's basically done at this point, finished. And today is all about adding some textures and some lines, creases, wrinkles. And again, I mentioned in earlier videos that I always pull up reference photos when I'm doing this. And on the reference photos for the chimpanzees, there is just some very light, kind of wrinkly lines in the face, and they kind of start up here, they come around, but they also come around and they move towards the center, almost upper lip. They come around and then come in and then come back down again. So we'll carve some of that. There's also some very distinct kind of wrinkly lines in the face from the original masks that they made for the original movies and the original television series that was out in the early 70s, and very distinct on the eyebrow ridges. There's these almost deeper, not as light as the lines that are in the muzzle and on the face, and then a few lines on the lower part of the chin. But there's some kind of more distinct, deeper creases, almost giving it a furrowed brow look. And the tools that I use to sculpt are these. This is has two ends to it, and this is really soft. This is made out of almost like what a pencil eraser would be made out of. So there's this kind of edged piece with a flat section, and you can sculpt with that and then move clay if you need to. This side of it has just kind of a more of a pointy version. And then for these ape masks, I tend to use this, which is, it's almost like a nail. Right? It's exactly like a nail, like a metal nail, and very pointy. Or if I need deeper creases, I will use this wooden sculpting tool that has two different size pointy ends. I usually start with the creases in the eyebrows, and they always come kind of, if I turn this, they'll always come sort of around from underneath the eyebrow and kind of curve towards the center and then back around to the top. That would be on one side, and then the same thing is kind of repeated on the other side. And if you don't have to get perfectly symmetrical with this, because you want it to look organic, and I mentioned this in earlier videos, that faces tend to have imperfections and aren't perfectly symmetrical in the real world and in nature. If I was to just take this metal nail tool and sculpt around like that, it would leave this really deep artificial sort of groove in there that has hard edges to it. So what I do at this point is I'll take, and I have cut a piece of this was a Ziploc from the kitchen, and I just cut a piece, and when I want to lay a crease down, I will basically lay this plastic over here, and what that does, I'll lay this first crease down here. Let me see if I can turn this. I will lay this first crease down here, and I'm going to come around, just not putting too much pressure. I'm going to do light pressure, a little deeper pressure, and then a little light as I come up. But what I'll do is I'll come around here, and then I'll apply a little more pressure, and then I'll turn to the top. And if you look at that, that has a crease already in there. And what I'll do is I'll do the same thing for the other side, and I will come around and I will just kind of put a crease in there. And if you look at that, those are the first two kind of pieces of the furrowed brow. And when I looked at the reference photos, there was a few more coming out, and they were sometimes regular. It depends on what movie and what TV show. They were all made by different artists, so there's a lot of room for your own interpretation in here. But I'll bring this back this way, and then maybe bring another one out here, and then we'll bring another crease, and I'm not even overthinking it, and then bring another crease maybe over here. And when I pull that out, it looks like that. And then later on down the road, I may just start adding some small, almost micro creases in here, and just kind of just give the skin just a little bit more texture. I'm barely touching that, and if you look at that, there's just, you might not even be able to see that, but it will show up in the final mask when you cast this. So I am just sort of adding these on here, and again, if I make a mistake, I can come back in and I can smooth it out a little bit. But at this point, I have most of the major lines down on the eyebrows, and the same thing's going to happen here. I'm going to add some on both sides of the cheeks, but we'll start over here, and I want to start kind of from where the muzzle meets the cheek, and I'm just going to sort of come out, man, and just like this, and just sort of randomly kind of draw that on there. And if you look at that, that's already ready to go. And then on this side, I'm not overthinking it. I'm just sort of randomly drawing light lines over here. And I think I might have made a mistake there, but I'll correct that there. And yeah, so we just sort of have some random lines right there. And then the same thing goes for the wrinkles in the muzzle, and they might not, probably they won't be as deep as these ones. From the reference photos, they tended to look pretty light. So I'll start up here lightly, and I'll come around, and then I'll come into the middle, and then I'll come around, and I'll come into the middle, and maybe start down here and just kind of come up and just randomly kind of come around and sculpt this, and I'll sculpt this over here, and I'll come around, and I'll come around, and this just lays down the foundations for lines, and I'll come back in here and I'll add more, but right now I'm just getting the basic shapes. And then the same thing down here, just put a few lines and some texture onto the chin section right here. And if I want to, I'll come in and I'll just kind of hit it a little bit, maybe even with the bigger tool and smaller tools to give it. And this gives it sort of a texture of skin on there. And I don't know if you can see it in the video, but when I pull this away, there's going to be almost like pores in there at that point. So I'll hit that. But I'm pretty much mostly, unless I adjust as I'm making this, I'm mostly just kind of working through this plastic material that I cut from a Ziploc. And I am going to pause the video. I'll work on this now that I'm going to kind of showed you what we're doing here. I'll work on this, and I will come back in a few minutes with the finished mask. So at this point, the face is finished pretty much. I would suggest, and this is what I usually do, is even though I feel like this is finished, I'll come back and I will I'll revisit this again in a couple days, maybe a day or two or three. And what happens is my eyes are fresh, and I might see that maybe this line is too deep or this line is not deep enough. Or I might realize, hey, I bumped something and the eyebrow is a bit off. So I'll come back in a few days, and then once that is finished, I'll come in and I'll make a mold, and that will be the next part in this video series. We're going to learn how to make a plaster or a cement mold for this face, and I will see you then. Thank you.